There were moments in my life when I looked into the mirror and I didn't recognize myself. That was me a few years ago. I was bald. My hair had gone. Why? At, Suddenly, at that time, I recognized that cancer was real for me. It was a reality that I couldn't ignore. It had taken something visible for me, but it had not taken my spirit. I'm here to share how positivity have helped me through it all. So, you see, cancer was not something new for me. I watched my mother fight it and lost. I watched my sister fight it and lost. So, when I was diagnosed with cancer, I was afraid because it was not just a medical condition for me, it was a story that I was familiar with. It was a story that I was terrified of its end. So, here I was, sitting in the hospital rooms, listening to doctors, hearing words such as surgery, chemotherapy, medical treatment, and I followed every recommendation they gave me. I went through surgery, I completed 6 rounds of chemotherapy, and I lost my hair. Interestingly, I didn't lose my appetite and I didn't feel any weakness in my body. However, cancer was not only physical battle, it was also a battle of mind. So there were days when everything felt heavy for me, not in my body, but in my mind. I thought to myself, what if it will end the same? I asked questions that people in suffering would normally ask. Why me? Why do I have to go through this painful journey? But then something inside me refused to let go completely. At some point, I realized something important. I could not change what happened to me, but I could change how I respond to that. So I made a personal and quiet decision. I chose to be positive. But don't get me wrong, positivity doesn't mean denying any fears. It doesn't mean being happy all the time. It doesn't mean uh, that everything will be all right. Positivity means choosing to believe that your struggle is not the end of your story. Positivity means waking up every morning and telling myself, I will face today, no matter what comes to me. Now, for me, my strength came for my faith. I believed that I was not alone. I believed that God was with me, holding my hand, not to erase the uncertainty, but to walk with me through it all. And that gave me peaceful comfort. So slowly, day by day, I kept going. Now, I'm standing here as a survivor, but surviving cancer was not the only victory. The real victory was that I was not losing myself in the process. Choosing hope when fears seem so loud, and then choosing faith when doubt wanted to take control, and also choosing positivity when the future seemed so uncertain. So here's what I've learned. We cannot control challenges coming into our life. Pain, loss, fear, they come in different forms for each one of us. But we can control how we face them. We can let them control us, or we can raise above them. So, if right now you are facing difficulties, I want you to know this. You're stronger than you think. Your story is not end. And also, even in the darkness of your thoughts, there's still some light. You just have to choose to see it. So, I once stood in front of the mirror and I only saw what I had lost. But now, I'm standing here and knowing something bigger than that. Cancer did not define me, Fear did not control me because in the middle of it all, I chose positivity. And that choice changed everything. Thank you.